right, sticking with the UAE-based news, this one is pretty contradictory. Let me give you with an example. Okay, now if you actually check this news, what it says here is Abu Dhabi's economy will expand by 8% in the next 2 years. Now have a look at the website that is talking about it, and you'll realize this is nationalnews.com. Okay. So it being based in Abu Dhabi, it obviously will speak about UAE in a positive light. So what does it say here? Abu Dhabi's economy will expand by 6 to 8% over the next 2 years. Oil sector, financial services, government spending, foreign investments, they will drive the growth. Even though there was a dip of 3 to 4% this year, things are looking pretty positive. Abu Dhabi's economy is very resilient. Okay, and finally, they talk about Abu Dhabi and Israel. They're working together to attract more technology and innovations. Okay, so this article is positive, happy. Abu Dhabi is doing good, and UAE is doing very nice. However, I want you to have a look at this article by Reuters. It says that IMF further lowers UAE's economic growth forecast by 6.6 contraction. Okay, and this is by IMF chief economist Gita Gopinath. What it says here is the IMF has projected a 3.5% contraction for 2020 due to the impact UAE and all its vital sectors will be affected and impacted. In fact, it's predicting that a growth of 1.3% for the next year. So the reason why I share this with you is a UAE-based media house is saying that, oh, we are doing very well. We are going to expand 8% next year. While you have Reuters that is saying, no, you have the growth that is going to be 1.3% next year. 8%, 1.3%. Now, my thoughts is, yes, it is necessary for the media to play a positive fiddle. However, it becomes very hard to play around with people who have money, especially who are intelligent investors, because if I was going to invest in UAE, I would not read the UAE media. I would read global media. I would read, let's say, something that is neutral like Reuters. I would not even, like, for example, I'm pretty aware of the fact that Al Jazeera, being Qatar, would speak negative about UAE because they are not in good terms. Okay. United States depends on which media house. If it is pro-Trump, they would support UAE. If it is not pro-Trump, they obviously wouldn't support UAE. So what I would tell you is, yes, UAE media is doing its job of projecting a very positive image, but at some point, people will say, listen, this is all bullshit. You're just trying to paint a very positive picture. I don't trust you anymore. And that is the main reason why UAE-based media is on the decline. Okay? And also keep in mind that they have government officials in the media houses who approve each and every article. And there is no journalist who's working in UAE who can put the real news because, forget losing a job. You can be arrested. Okay, next one. This CNBC article says, UAE News, Dubai debt to become worse. Recovery is in 2023. So S&P expects Dubai's debt to become worse, doesn't see the pre-pandemic recovery until 2023. So this is 2020. Next year is 2021. Following that is 2022. Then is 2023. So what it says is Dubai has suffered its pandemic. The pandemic has decimated air travel and tourism, as well as other sectors like construction and real estate. Dubai's gross general government debt is 77% of the GDP and 11% contraction for the Dubai economy in 2020. It already has a very high debt load, which is set to increase. And oil makes up only 1% of Dubai's GDP. However, the broader assessment of the public sector, including government-related entities, GREs, the debt is 148% of the GDP. See, what I think is Dubai's major problem is the number of projects it has undertaken, the number of loans it has undertaken, the aggressive expansion, the bullshit media hype, And on top of that, you have the attraction towards a lot of, unaccounted money and revenue. And then when you're trying to be on the global stage, obviously all the eyes are going to be on you. So Dubai is left in a precarious position whereby it's trying to show we are large, we are big, we are great, we are invincible, we have this vision of 50 years, 100 years, we are the most technology advanced country, we have the biggest malls, the largest buildings, the most luxurious stuff. But then, if you don't have money to pay your bills, then why are you showing off? So the problem is they can't come back to reality because Dubai's brand is considered luxury. So they are just going to continue with the bullshit, and this is going to be the undoing. So you let me know, what do you think? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think that UAE's GDP, is it going to improve? Is it going to get better? Are they going to survive, sustain? Is it right what they're doing? Like, putting in the newspaper and showing, oh, we are doing very well. We are going to come out, the vision for 50 years, 100 years. Or do you think that they are making a mistake? In fact, I think the best question to ask is, what is the solution for all this? Is the solution telling, listen, we messed up? Or is the solution saying that, let's close down the sick units like Dubai Maktoum Airport, close down the world islands? Or do you think if they admit their mistake and they say, listen, we fucked up, people are going to be like, so you're human, I don't trust you anymore? I just feel that you need to tell the truth. You need to tell the truth. Yes, you need to play it smart, but you need to admit that you messed up. Stop this fake news of overhyping, especially overhyping. Even if fake news is understood, every country has fake news, but you overhype. You exaggerate to a point where people just laugh at you, So that's what I have to say. You can let me know what are your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Okay, so let's move on to the next bit of news.